sir.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, thank you very much. There should have been an amendment that's passed out to you. It's the committee's amendment. We accepted it. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
This is a permissive bill that would allow a public utility district, partially or wholly located in San Diego County, to move to district-based elections either by ordinance or by resolution of the County Board of Supervisors or as part of the local LAFCO process. Sponsored by the Fallbrook Public Utility District, this bill provides a simple codification of a court order for a district to move from at-large directors to director elected from specific districts. With me today, Mr. Brian Brady, the General Manager of the Fallbrook Public Utility District.
Please, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. I am the sponsor, that is, Fallbrook Public Utility District is the sponsor of SB 927, and not to go into detail, but just to say that SB 927 is very important to the Fallbrook Public Utility District as it removes any potential confusion about the district's exemption from at-large election requirement and clearly permits district elections as required by our court order that was signed last month. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any support, other support of this measure? Please.
Dylan Gibbons with the California Special Districts Association in support.
Thank you, Mr. Gibbons.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Chair, members. Glenn Farrell with the San Diego County Water Authority. We're in support of this important measure to help move closer to resolution of this legal issue for a Fallbrook Public Utility District.
Thank you. Any opposition to the measure? Before I ask a question, I just wanted, even though I was, it was after my time, I served as a member of the Board of Directors of MALDEV, which brought the litigation, which was the source of this. So just wanted to, for complete transparency, represent that. Senator Laura.
Thank you. I just want to, again, thank Senator Anderson for this and thank the Fallbrook District. I know this case also was worked by MALDEF in terms of ensuring that everybody had equal access to representation. And so I thank you for being here and being proactive on this important issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? You want to close, Senator?
I ask that you vote aye. I would like to point out that that nobody's ever been harmed by the district. No one's ever run for office that was denied the office. The district wanted to comply, but the way the legal system's set up right now is they're prohibited from complying. So the judge ruled against the district, but they have no legal way unless we pass this bill. So I urge an aye vote. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a motion on this matter? Moved by Senator Morlock. This is due pass as amended. The amendments were distributed to Elections Committee. Okay. Secretary, please call the roll.
Hertzberg?
Aye.
Hertzberg, aye. Wynn? Wynn, aye. Bell? Aye. Bell, aye. Hernandez? Hernandez, aye. Laura? Laura, aye. Morlock? Morlock, aye. Pavley? Pavley, aye. 7-0.
7-0. Measures out. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Senator
for your
Anderson.
very thoughtful consideration.
Do we have Senator Mendoza, Senator Nielsen? I think Senator Bell. Let's go with Senator Bell. Everyone file item file item number 3, SB 873, Senator Bell, relating to low-income housing tax credits. File item number 3, members. Senator Bell, thank you. So Nielsen, you're up next after Senator Bell. Go ahead.
Sit in the middle.
Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. This is SB 873. It allows the sale of low-income housing tax credits, and I will be glad to accept technical amendments in comment 7 of the staff report.
Thank you.
As authors' amendments. Recently, of course, we've been hearing a lot of news about the economy turning around, and the recessions is mostly behind us, at least for some areas of California. However, too many low-income individuals throughout California struggle to retain safe, clean, and affordable housing. Our low-income housing tax credit program is arguably, at this point, with the demise of redevelopment, the most successful affordable housing program in California, and is presently way oversubscribed, as you can imagine. Additionally, these tax credits are structured in a way that is subject to a federal taxation. As a result of the federal taxation issue, 35 cents of every dollar California invests in this critical program goes to the federal government. So we're actually underperforming in a way. This bill fixes that. This is a bill that would allow the credits to be restructured in a way that is not subject to the federal taxation, bringing the investment closer, instead of 65 cents to $1. So we actually gain just by this bill. It will significantly increase the efficiency and value of the state low-income housing tax credits at no cost to the state. The bill will allow more money to stay in California and allow more affordable housing units to be built for the same level of state tax expenditure. It has bipartisan support, and respectfully ask that I vote. We have witnesses, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir.
Great. I'm Mark Stivers, the Executive Director of the Tax Credit Allocation Committee, and mostly I'm here to express the support of State Treasurer John Chung, our chair, and the sponsor of this bill, and answer any questions. I will just add that, again, we are losing 35% of the value of our credit to the federal government in taxation. This bill doesn't increase the amount of tax credits the state is making available. It just makes them more effective.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, members, Dan Carrick on behalf of the League of California Cities in support for the reasons previously stated. Thank you.
Thank you. Others in support?
Andrew Langley on behalf of the Marin County Board of Supervisors in support. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Gregory here with the ARC and United Cerebral Palsy California Collaboration. We support the bill.
Thank you so much.
Margot Parks on behalf of the California Council of Affordable Housing in support.
Thank you, Ryan.
Mr. Chairman, Michael Radigan on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, Santa Clara County in support.
Thank you.
Sean Topakian on behalf of the California Apartment Association in support.
Thank you, sir.
Marina White with the California Housing Consortium in support.
Thank you.
Tyrone Buckley with Housing California, also in strong support.
Opposition? Any opposition to the measure? Questions from the members? Sir.
Senator Bell, the governor last year vetoed just about every credit bill that came before him, and now that he's looking like he's approving the minimum wage increase, which is going to have a dramatic impact on the state budget in coming years with the just the cost of paying for IHSS workers. I'm just wondering what makes him change his mind to not veto this again, because he's got to worry about the bottom line overall.
It's something that I dwelled on also. I think that the bill and what I said earlier really applies. We're actually being more efficient with our tax credit, and we're actually putting money into the California economy rather than sending it to Washington, D.C. I think the governor now realizes that, and I hope that he will support this bill, Senator.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions to a motion? That was Senator Laura. Senator Laura, this is, would you like to close, sir?
Ask for aye vote. Thank you.
Okay. Do pass as amended. Thank you for taking those amendments to appropriations. Secretary, call the roll.
Hertzberg?
Aye.
Hertzberg, aye. Wynn?
Aye.
Wynn, aye. Bell?
Aye.
Bell, aye. Hernandez? Hernandez, aye. Laura? Laura, aye. Morlock? Morlock, aye. Pavley? Pavley, aye. 7-0.
7-0. Measures out. Thank you so much, Senator Bell. Senator Mendoza, I don't see him here. Senator Nielsen. And then Senator Wachowski. Senator Nielsen, this is SB 1027. That's file item number 11, members. Tehama County Park Property Transfer, file item number 11.
Thank you, Chairman Hertzberg and members of the committee. This is a district and transfer bill between Tehama County and the Evergreen School District. There is no opposition. I have with me here Mr. Bill Goodwin, the Executive Officer of the County of Tehama, and Mr. Brad Mendenhall of the Evergreen School District. This school district has originally had this property, and it was purchased by state bond money years ago. The school district has leased the park for over 20 years, so it's been a long-established relationship. It was surrounded by the school district's elementary school and middle schools during the day, and it's been used for the students during the day for their recess and other activities. The district and the county have decided and mutually agreed that this would be a beneficial transfer. They'd like to make further investments, the district would, in this property, and they'd like to take the ownership of the property. The county sees this to be to their advantage and would like to hand this over then to the district. There, again, has been no difficulty with this over the years, and there should be no impact on the public use. There's been a lot of stories about this in the community. There has never serviced any community opposition to it, so there seems to be the opportunity for a very smooth transfer. Committee staff did suggest an amendment, which we will accept as a committee amendment, and it's a wise one, that this would remain as a park in perpetuity. That is not any intent of the county or the district to ever change that, but when you formalize it, it's a sure thing, and they're all happy to do that. I have with us here Mr. Bill Goodwin and Mr. Mendenhall, who would like to offer some testimony, if we will, and Mr. Steve Champlin, the supervisor of Tehama County, is also here if there be any questions, and their county counsel as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Senator Nielsen.
Thank you, committee. Thank you, Senator Nielsen, for authoring this bill. I am Bill Goodwin, the county administrator for Tehama County. This bill would allow the transfer of Nolan Park to the Evergreen School District, which just, as has already been stated, formalizes an arrangement that we've had through a lease for many, many years. A typical park in Tehama County is a picnic area and then maybe a playground area for small children that was actually thankfully through the the park bond money, recent park bond money, we were able to do some children's areas. That's what this park would look like if we had not had this arrangement with the school district. The school district has spent over $300,000 over these past years. They've built a beautiful soccer field, track. They maintain it, they operate it, and they open it up to the public when school is not in session. It's just a wonderful deal for both the community, for the county, and we'd really appreciate your consideration to formalize this into a transfer.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you for hearing this. Thank you for hearing this. And I do want to thank Senator Nielsen's office and staff for supporting it and writing this bill, authoring it. It has been a longstanding relationship. The district's intent is not to change the public use in any way, shape, or form. We do want to maintain it as a park forever. In our particular rural community, our school district is the community center. There are no shopping centers. We don't even have a post office. So it's in our best interest to maintain it as well. What the park does allow is it allows access not only to the park, but to both of our school facilities that have landlocked the park, essentially. And so students and families have access to what is a very open campus, or two open campuses. And again, as Mr. Goodwin said, the district has put in a significant financial investment over the last 20 years. We want to continue to do that and maintain that, and continue to maintain Nolan Park as one of the top-notch parks in our county. And this is a way to do that. So I appreciate you hearing this, and I encourage you to support this bill.
Thank you, and thank you for coming to testify. Others in favor of the measure will testify? Anybody in opposition? Oh, sir.
Steve Chamblin, District 1 Supervisor, in favor.
Thank you, Supervisor, for coming. We really appreciate it. Any opposition? Bill's been moved as this is as amended. The author agreed to take the amendments in comment 3. Any questions, sir, Senator Morlock? Brother Supervisor. Ask him later, I'm sure you will. Anything further from the members? Bill's. Right.
Benefit from schools using them during the day, the greater community after 3 o'clock, whatever. Yeah. It's a smart use of land. And
smart use of land. We did that in the school bond and in the park bonds years ago. It's excellent. We really think it's a good idea, sir.
Yep. Really good idea.
Anything further from the members? Would you like to close?
Mr. Chairman, I just say in my mind's eye, I see the site. I've been there many times. It's aesthetically beautiful. The greenery, the trees and the border, it's kind of rolling up into the foothills. It's absolutely aesthetically beautiful site.
Thank you so much.
This will protect it.
Okay, bill's been moved by Senator Pavley, do pass as amended to appropriations. Secretary, call the roll.
Hertzberg.
Aye.
Hertzberg, aye. Wynn. Aye. Wynn, aye. Bell. Aye. Bell, aye. Hernandez.
Good job.
Hernandez, aye. Laura. Laura, aye. Morlock. Morlock, aye. Pavley. Pavley, aye. 7-0.
7-0, measures out unanimously.
Thank you,
so
Mr.
much.
Chairman and
Thank you,
members.
Supervisor, thank you, council, everybody for coming. Appreciate it very, very much. Next, I don't see Senator Mendoza, Senator Mikowski. File item number 13, SB 1170, Public Works Contracts and Water Pollution Prevention. A noble title.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chair and members. This bill 1170 is about ensuring fairness and certainty for the hardworking people who build the stuff that we depend on.
Oh, we can't hear you.
They can drown me out.
Please.
While we're enjoying these hardworking people that are building our stuff, we also want to maintain environmental standards that we all rely on to protect our environment when it actually does rain in California. So first, I'd like to accept the committee's amendments contained in the analysis dealing with contracting methods. I'd like to thank the chair and the committee staff for their assistance on the bill. So 1170 ensures that adequate resources are allocated to the pollution prevention planning process by clarifying that public owners are responsible for the preparation of the storm pollution prevention plans required on public works projects. Now, existing law already bars public owners from making contractors assume responsibility for the design of the stormwater plans. We're going to hear from some contractors who will show that there's a way that people are getting around this. Now, when construction jobs are in progress, environmental protection laws require that the project owner implement a plan to prevent construction materials from being washed from the work site into storm drains. Traditionally, the construction plans, including the plan for preventing this pollution, was developed by the local government for whom the project is being built. In recent years, these public agencies have transferred design responsibility and the risk relating to stormwater construction plans to the contractors. Contractors are thus required to submit a bid without adequate time or information to actually prepare a stormwater pollution prevention plan, resulting in the contractor or a subcontractor being unable to price the actual stormwater plan needed because it has not been designed yet. Now, this bill, SB 1170, addresses this by requiring our public agencies to design the stormwater plan and include it as part of the bid documents when the project is actually put out to bid. We have some firsthand testimony here from Dan McGrew, who's the vice president of the Griffith Company and the Associated General Contractors.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. Dave Ackerman, representing the Associated General Contractors, sponsor of the legislation. As Senator Wachowski said, the shift in responsibility on the stormwater planning has resulted in really undermining the intent of the general stormwater permit that was updated last in 2010, and it results in a really inefficient allocation of responsibility and risk in implementing the plan. It's also contrary to existing law, which Senator Wachowski pointed out in his statement. And the bottom line is it results in a stormwater plan that's less than robust and which is required for environmental protection during the construction of a project. With me is Dan McGrew, Vice President with Griffith Company, who has firsthand experience in implementing stormwater plans on construction projects.
Morning. Thank you, Dave. I'm Dan McGrew with Griffith Company. We're a long-time 115-year contractor in Southern California. And I've had an opportunity in my career, starting out as a young estimator, working through as a project manager, and finally as a regional manager, dealing with all facets of stormwater pollution. The current process is problematic, especially in the public works arena, because there is no sweepy plans, the stormwater plan, prepared prior to the bid. We have only a couple of weeks to deal with pricing the project, the design that the owner gives us, and we don't have time to put together a full stormwater plan. So we guess at what the implementation of that is going to cost. The public agencies mandate, pass on indemnity for all of that work to us and ask us to put together a price. It's impossible to do correctly. And in a low bid market, we end up taking the best guess that we can, and it's usually inadequate. After the job is awarded, we are issued a notice to proceed, and before we can start work, we're required to prepare a stormwater plan and submit it to the agency for approval. They take their water experts and then they mark it up, and they generally add more to the plan, more cost to what it's going to be to implement it from what we even anticipate. They generally do not take things out, trust me. So then we're required to implement the plan, and because we have a set budget, many times we're in conflict with the owner because we want to do it as inexpensively as possible, as you can imagine, to meet our budget. But this conflict ends up, they mandate the controls. They say, no, we need you to add this here. We need you to add these BMPs here. And it tends to increase the cost for the contractor. But on top of that, it's really the only facet of all the design that they pass on to us. The rest of the project is completely designed by them, and they deal with all the other issues. I know that one of the concerns might be is, well, how can the designers know what the construction techniques are going to be or how things are going to go? Well, they understand the whole project. They get it for months, years sometimes, to build the project or put it together before they put it out to bid. We only get it for a few weeks, as I said. When they're in that process of designing it, they get a chance to look at the topology. They get a chance to design the storm drain system. They understand the soil conditions, all the things that make up this plan that we have to implement. The actual construction doesn't change the actual work that they want done. The processes are the processes. Every time that we have a project, there are design issues. We work through those design issues, just like we would if something with the sweepy plan wasn't working and they had designed it, we would work through that and help them solve that problem. Lastly, I just wanted to say this bill does not relieve the contractor of any responsibility to implement the plan correctly. Contractors will be responsible and will carry the burden of those fines if they do not implement the plan correctly that's designed by the owner.
Thank you. Excuse.
Mr. Chair, members, Joe Cruz on behalf of the California State Council of Flavors. I appreciate the time, and I'll be extremely brief. My members are charged with performing many of the tasks performed in implementing these stormwater plans on the construction site. We feel that these plans aren't one size fits all. They vary with geography, with topography, and when you go in, things obviously change, but you should know ahead of time in developing these plans what you're in store for. In order to better protect our vital waterways, we need to implement these plans early in the planning phase, and we strongly support this measure.
Thank you, Mr. Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Todd Blumstein for the Southern California Contractors Association, also in support. One quick note, nothing precludes or nothing, the bill doesn't change the practice of implementing this plan, as the individual from Griffith Company said. And contractors are liable for errors in the plan, or if they make mistakes in the plan, or negligence in the plan. And those fines are significant, up to $37,000 a day per violation. They're very significant penalties. So we appreciate your support on this bill. Thank you.
Others in favor?
Mr. Chair, members, Brett Barrow with the National Electrical Contractors Association, the California Legislative Council of the Plumbing, Heating, Piping Industry, and United Contractors, and for the reasons that have been stated, we support this bill.
Thank you. Any opposition to the measure? Seeing and hearing none, joking.
Good morning. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Jimmy McDonald with the California Special Districts Association. Regrettably, we do have to oppose this bill for a few different reasons. One is we do fundamentally believe that these plans are in the best hands of the contractor. Essentially, what they would be asking us to do is create these plans before a construction site actually even exists, which is a little bit out of order. Secondly, these plans have to be updated on a regular basis as the construction site changes, whether it's moving a pile of concrete or roofing tiles or anything. These plans have to be updated as the ground changes levels and things are terraced. They have to be updated. So we believe that the relationship is best fitted with the subcontractor-contractor relationship, which is normally the process that's taken with this. So we don't really see the issue with responsibility being shifted because we're the owners of the permit. We understand that. So it ultimately lies on the public agency to ensure that we don't pollute the water. Their insurance, the general liability insurance, covers the subcontractor relationship. We're not exactly sure why we're hearing that it shifts the risk at all. But just generally, we think this is in the best hands of the contractors. It just makes sense. It's the way it's been for the last 7 years. And we're not experts. The local elected officials, we hire experts because we're not the experts in construction. So regrettably, we have to oppose. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair, members of the committee. My name is Ronnie Verdugo. I'm here on behalf of the League of California Cities. Unfortunately, the League of California Cities, with the other organizations that are signed on to our letter, must oppose the SB 1170. It was just last year that an identical version of this bill, AB 1315 by Assemblymember Alejo, died in Assembly Appropriations Committee. Our concerns with this bill have not changed from just a year ago. In fact, we would like to echo all of the comments made by Jimmy with CSDA and add that we believe that this bill is actually moving in the opposite direction of efficiency. As noted in the committee analysis, recent efforts have tried to streamline the process by allowing public agencies to use design build and other alternative procurement methods. Instead, this bill actually proposes to split those responsibilities, which will lead to increased cost, and in this case, a less streamlined relationship between where we think the most intimate relationship is with the contractor and the subcontractor, in this case being the design professional, and add significant financial risks onto the public agency, as was also mentioned in the committee analysis. Unfortunately, in contrast to the intent language of this bill, we fail to see how it's in the public's best interest to create the inefficiencies in project delivery proposed by this particular bill. So again, we'd like to thank the author's office, the committee staff, and members of your committee for your time and consideration. Thank you.
Sir. Mr. Chair and members, Ian Padilla with the Coalition for Adequate School Housing. We also oppose this bill for the reasons previously stated by my colleagues, and we are also a signatory to the joint letter. Thank you.
Government shifting the response.
Morning, Faith Conley with the California State Association of Counties, also in opposition.
Mr. Chair, members, Juliana Voris here on behalf of the Urban Counties of California, also opposed. Thank you.
Mike Dillon with the California Association of Sanitation Agencies, Major Wastewater Agencies, in opposition. Thank you.
Questions? Senator Morlock.
I'm just curious, since this is sort of left hanging, are there any other deficiencies in your RFPs that are similar to this one, or is this just a unique case?
I think they could probably answer that the best. I'm not a practitioner, but.
Mr.
I'm not sure I understand your question,
Well,
Senator.
we're talking about this storm requirement, and are there any other, when you're doing the bid, are there any other areas that are kind of vague and opaque that you are bidding blind on, or is this the only one?
No, this is the only piece that they don't design. There are times when we look at traffic control, there may be a lump sum item for traffic control, but that we understand completely. It's something that we understand the operation of what it's going to be, and we can price that. The problem with the SWEEPI plan is that it requires knowledge of the topology and the soil content and all these other pieces, and then we've got to put all that together prior to the bid without being able to put a plan together in advance.
In an RFP process, you have an opportunity to meet with the agency. They have a meeting, and you can ask all kinds of questions before you submit your bid. Is that correct?
Yes, you can. Many times they don't. We can ask a question, but the answers invariably come back. The typical response is bid it like you see it. Now, it is interesting, Senator. Caltrans has adopted what we're recommending already. They do this. They prepare the water quality plan, and they put together actual bid items that cover everything in the implementation. And then as the project changes and moves, we work with the Caltrans resident engineer, and we just go ahead and they change the plan as we go, and we implement the bags or implement the straw wattles or whatever it is as we go. So we're just liking to see that model through the rest of the industry.
If I understand you correctly, you're complimenting Caltrans.
I said that they got this process right.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McGrew.
Senator, we should note that the Alejo bill is substantially different from this bill because we've accepted the committee amendments on design build, best value, and the construction manager at-risk contract. So we're narrowing its application, because in the design build, then that's a different animal.
Well, I'm just wondering, when you put the RFP out, and if this is still kind of dangling, that you say, I want you to bid on two components. One is the overall project, and the second is the storm component, the water component, so that the contractors are bidding on the same thing and not having this black box kind of problem where that could make the difference on the bids, right?
Yes, but this bill wouldn't even allow us to do that. We would have to go to a separate contractor, a design professional. We wouldn't be able to actually contract with a contractor to do these anymore under this bill. We would actually have to go for a third contract.
So what have you done to fix this problem? What have all the municipalities done to try to correct this flaw?
We try to follow the requirements that were set up by the federal government and the state government. And the requirements were to ensure that pollution didn't reach our waterways through the construction site.
Change orders then?
Yes, and that's the case. That's the bigger issue, is the change order issue. And so, change orders happen for many different reasons, whether it's this, whether it's the stormwater plans, or whether it's the cost of materials. It happens all the time anyways.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. Change orders are anathema to me. It's like I expected something at a certain price, and it isn't fair to disadvantage a bidder.
Yeah.
So I've had incredible stories, Mr. Chair, of change orders in Orange County. We just sort of, we've had, I don't even want to get into it, but we almost feel ripped off that you were underbid and then you just got paid more than the second best bidder with all the change orders. That stuff's got to stop. So we've got to help our contractors in being fair to the taxpayers.
Yeah, this bill won't fix change orders.
Senator, some of the municipal and public contracts that are being led prohibit any change orders on the stormwater prevention plan. They specifically say that you will indemnify and there are no change orders. So that just aggravates the
Yeah, because you don't know what you're bidding on.
You don't know what you're bidding on. And that's hopefully what 1170 fixes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Senator Bell.
Okay, I think the current process is sort of like bid on the project, and then afterwards we'll deal with the stormwater issues as they go along. And then obviously we got the whole situation with the alphabet soup of agencies, not just the cities, and counties. And then they start saying, well, we want you to do this, we want you to do that, and then it has to go through a process every time they do that. So I think what happens is a lot of that results in uncertainty. Uncertainty results in higher bids, pay more money, if you want to, So I think if you did things right at the beginning, you would lower the amount of uncertainty and lower the amount of change orders. Now, the other option is if they don't like that, they can do a design build or other kinds of, the process allows under the statute, there's other kinds of process that would allow them to construct things in a different format that if they don't particularly like this way, they can do it another way. But the big thing for stormwater is it drives people crazy. I've heard this for years. It drives people crazy because nobody wants to take responsibility. Everybody's pointing the finger at everybody else. And so for me, I like to have this done as early as possible. That's why I think the bill is a good idea. You might have to do some tweaking with the League of Cities and other groups, but I think we should do this because This is a problem in all construction in California. The stormwater planning is a mess in California. It costs people tons of money. It delays projects. It delays private projects. It delays public works projects. And I hope that this bill is part of the answer, but it's a, you know, time is money. The worst thing that costs money in construction and transportation projects is time. It's not the cost of the project, it's the wasted time. And when these government agencies start pointing at each other and demanding change orders, this is an area where there's big amounts of change orders, in actual fact. I know that's true. I don't know if the contractors can comment about this,
I
but
think, Senator Bell, I read that as an emotion.
My clothes.
I used to wear a button that said, no, I still have it in my office, and I think some of you have seen it. It says change orders, and there's a big cross through it, because I think we have to do things up. We have to figure out the problems before we start building the project.
Yeah, Morlock, Bell.
I move the bill.
Bill has been moved. Anything further from the members? You want to close?
I'd urge a yes vote, and just note that it looks as though we're in our 5th year of a drought. So we've basically dodged some of these egregious problems that may occur because there hasn't been any rain this fall. So this is a really timely piece of legislation.
Good, very good. This is due pass as amended to environmental quality. I'm sure that that committee will do a fantastic job in making sure that this bill is taken care of in the most appropriate manner.
It won't be
Secretary, call the roll.
Hertzberg.
Aye.
Hertzberg, aye. Wynn. Bell. Bell, aye. Hernandez. Hernandez, aye. Laura. Laura, aye. Morlock.
Aye.
Morlock, aye. Pavley. You have 5-0.
5-0, we'll hold that roll open. Thank you, Senator Bukowski. Thank you so much. File item number 10, SB 1011, Senator Mendoza dealing with conflict of interest. Members, file item number 10. Senator Mendoza.